Hello, listeners. Within the last 2 weeks, many organizations have been moving forward with their plans to reopen offices. What are some best practices that have worked to ensure employee safety and confidence? Here with me today is Gibson Smith, Chief People Officer of Avionos, to share how his company reopened the doors in some ways that the world of work has forever been changed. Gibson, thanks for joining me today. Why don't you tell me a little bit about how your organization had to pivot during the outbreak of COVID-19 and how the recent reopening of the offices went?
Yeah, sure. So when all of the heightened anxiety around the pandemic started for us, probably mid to late March, our first concern was the safety of our employees. And we wanted to make sure that we didn't put anyone in harm's way. But, for us being a professional services firm and structured to be able to support work from home pretty consistently, mobilizing our workforce was not that difficult. So there wasn't really any major disruptions from our day-to-day business operations. But, what we did need to do was invest in our communication channel, change how we interacted as an organization. I think not only with Avionos, but many, many companies out there, the concern was productivity issues. But we have not seen any particular drop-off in any areas around engagement, and really have used this as a platform to kind of build how our workforce is going to operate moving forward.
Great. So you went ahead and reopened the office last week. Is that correct?
Yes, we did. And, honestly, it's a work in progress. We have taken all of the necessary precautions based on, federal, state, and local guidelines. With Chicago having a very large population of close to, 3 million people and probably close to 1 million in the downtown Chicago area working on a daily basis, we wanted to make sure that we were prepared and our employees found it safe and okay to come back into the office. Now, with that being said, it's been a slow reentry. And really, I think one of the roadblocks for us is just the dependency upon public transportation for our employees to come into the office via commuter rail line and then the Chicago Transit Authority, better known as the L. Those practices, I think, are still concerning to some about just the potential opportunity to contract COVID. So, we have seen kind of a slow momentum building for our employees wanting to come in. But when they do come in, we have masks that we aren't requiring in our space, but we support every individual wearing masks as they feel comfortable. We want them to wear those in open areas. We have reduced, the amount of people in our conference rooms. We are avoiding congregating in large groups in our main areas. And then, really no one's allowed in the office except for our employees or vendors that are pre-approved. And with that, comes some new policies just about really how you think about how you navigate through the office on a daily basis. We came up with one of our policies is essentially if you touch it, clean it. So we have hand sanitizer stations at both of our entries. We have cleaning supplies and disinfectants at the end caps of all of our rows of desks. And then, we keep sanitizer and disinfectant spray in all of our common areas. There's going to be extra cleaning for, supply. We are keeping desks separated. We're starting to use individual snacks and encouraging our employees to clean off their desk space before and after they use it. Keep your personal items at a minimum as well. And then just make sure, wiping down the microwave and the Keurig and the faucet and fridge handles and door handles and the printers after every use. So we've taken a deep dive and explored how we can mitigate any potential spread of coronavirus. And then also, I think most importantly too, is just having a reservation system for the desk in an open space. We're going to limit the number of desks that are available so that we can responsibly social distance. We're going to be really looking at safety and precaution when it comes to the interaction but still be able to enable productivity from our office space and really just make sure that everyone has a high level of confidence when they do decide to come into the office.
And did you receive any feedback from employees and managers about how reentry went?
So far, so good. I think, everyone who has come into the office feels very safe. They feel that the necessary precautions have taken place. And I think because of that, we're going to see a higher level of confidence, and we are going to see more and more individuals start to come into the office as, the transportation with the rail lines, with the buses, continues to improve as well. So in an ideal world, we would love to have our workforce back in the office like it was pre-COVID, but I think a lot of that remains to be seen as well.
Do you have any predictions to how the world of work will change as we do move forward?
I do. I have a lot of opinions on the subject matter. And it really starts with how we think about our workday. In my opinion, there is no more 9 to 5. As a working parent with 2 young children, how we structure our days is going to need to continue to be evaluated and innovated upon, because we're not in a sprint anymore. COVID is not going away anytime soon, and it's a marathon now. So the effects of COVID, we are going to have to evaluate over an extended period of time. Work, in my opinion, is no longer where and when, it's the what, right? Working parents and how we support working parents is going to be very critical. My workday now looks like 8 to 11 with a break for education and a break for playtime or activity time, even during the summer break, and then, back online maybe for a few hours from 2 to 5, and then maybe wrapping up, at the end of the day when the kids go to bed. So there needs to be a tremendous amount of flexibility, a tremendous amount of support as well. And then also, how do we look internally about training our managers to help support our work from home employees? We really need to develop the rigor around communication. We need to look at how we can provide potential workshop for parents to get their feedback, for managers and parents to interact about what are some of the struggles and roadblocks they face working from home and how we can best support that. Continue to utilize Zoom. It's been our primary method of communication as well, but really start putting some structure and some rigor on a work day that is untraditional in how we think about our work days, right? But we also need to be able to empower our employees, empower our parents, free up time during the day to be productive. We have seen no drop in productivity in our delivery of our project work. And so I feel very confident that we were able to mobilize quickly and pivot quickly into a distributed workforce. Now, how do we build upon that and use that as a baseline for, an extended period of time, whether that's through the end of the year or if this is going to be our new model moving forward. So I look at it as a very opportunistic time to create new avenues for growth in the organization around this type of structure, around employee engagement. And then also, too, the benefits that our clients get from that as well, with our ability to pivot and look at their needs as well, because, they are in the same boat that we are. And when you work and support companies who necessarily didn't have the ability to quickly, move their workforce from an on-premise environment to remotely, we were able to help several of our clients build their infrastructure as well. We see it as really part of how we're going to operate as an organization moving forward and really what the new workforce is going to look like.
Until next time, listeners, I'm Debbie Bola.